The Katha begins by saying at one time there lived a Brahmana, a holy man. What makes you holy? On the second day of the Bhagwat, not yesterday, the day before, after the morning session was finished, I went inside. And as I went inside, I sat reading for a few minutes, because that's what I do after every session. But as I sat inside quietly reading, a man came to the door and he requested to see me. And so I went out and I looked at him. He said, I want to tell you something. I love you. God bless you. I came from Aruka this morning and I traveled by taxi. But I came here and I want to tell you something. When you do the mentioning in the opening, you say, I touch the lotus-like feet of all the Brahmanas. He said, but what about me, a poor man? Who made a sacrifice, just like the Brahmins make a sacrifice to come. What about me? You didn't acknowledge me. What about the man who collects the garbage? You didn't acknowledge him. And if he didn't collect the garbage, we couldn't sit comfortable in the Bhagwat. The food would have been smelling. Huh? He said, what about those boys who sweeping and cleaning and packing the chair and who don't even belong to our race and our religion, and they fixing and cleaning and shining? What about them? How come you didn't acknowledge them? And I'm at a loss for words. Because it's something that I took for granted. That when we say welcome, we mean welcome to everybody. But then he looked at me and he said, you're better than that, you know. I said, why? He said, because I see you sharing food, and I see you eating among everybody, and I see you talking and laughing and walking and hugging and kissing everybody, and you're just like everybody else. He said, I noticed you made no mention of yourself, and nobody in the group made mention of you too. And I said to him, there is a reason why. Because I'm on the same level of everybody in the group. What they're eating, I'm eating. What they're drinking, I'm drinking. Where they're going, I'm going. They're going on an all-inclusive. I gone too, you know. I'm in the middle. I'm the enabler. They're laughing, I laughing. But bet your last dollar, when the day come to cry, I am there crying with you. Bet your last dollar. And anybody who knows me knows that about me. I don't only like you in your good days. I love you in your not so good days. I try my best to help you. And you know what he said to me? He said, do me a favor now. Never say that again. I said, well, I want to tell you, I can't make a promise that I can't keep. I might try not to say that again, but I will only try. This morning, the Katha says at one time there lived a Brahmana. It makes mention of Brahma. But this morning, I want to touch your feet. All of you. Wherever you are, I want to touch your feet. I'm touching your feet and I'm bowing to you in humility. And I'm saying that all of you, you are special. I'm saying that all of you, you are divine. I'm saying all of you, we are all a part of this very same Leela. Not Leela with the Majira and the red head. Because that's what the Leela is like sometimes. Funny, crazy, confusing, contrary. That's what the Leela of life is like. Happy, sad, rainy, sunny. I am bowing to you. Auntie Angie, I am bowing to you. Chanu, I am bowing to you. Ashi, I am bowing to you. Rukmin, I am bowing to you. Kus, I am bowing to you. Kamala, I am touching your feet. Sharon, I am bowing down to you. Papa, Mama, I am touching your feet. Nads, I can't really reach but I'm bowing. I'm bowing. Humility is the doorway to salvation. Always remember that. Tell the person next to you, Humility is the doorway to mukti. Tell them. Tell them. Humility. Swami, I'm bowing to you. From a distance, but I'm bowing. This Brahmana, he was loved by his parents, by his wife, by his children. And he had 10 putra. 10 means what? 10 putra. He had 10 sons. You think you could manage 10 sons? 10 putra. He had 10 sons. And having these 10 sons, every day he offered respect to his parents and to his guru. Every day. And offering respects to his parents and his guru. What will happen? Listen, the Katha continues to tell us. Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan,
Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan.
एक दिन देवता पूजा पर फूल का देखता देकर गए देवा सरबी का प्राता भीष्म देकर वेशता देकर दे रक्षता श्री के अरेक्षा संता दे उच्च नेता नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण
Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan.
One day, he went out into the garden to pick flowers. But out in the open garden, while there, he saw that there were 2 beings. He saw there was this man, and he saw that this man, he was embracing a lady. But this lady, she was always drunk, intoxicated. And for a living, she danced in the Madhushala, in the bar. If you have to describe the character of a person who will do this, how would you think of that person? Always intoxicated and dancing in the Madhushala, the bar. How? Don't answer, just think. The kathas are not geared for you to question or answer. They're geared at putting you to think, putting you to wake up to the reality of what life is. And so, he saw that this man was embracing her. And so, knowing of her character, knowing of who she was, knowing of her, he looked at her. But while picking the flowers, he couldn't stop looking. And so, this created something. What will it create? Listen, it answers. Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan,
Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan.
सृष्टि दे प्रतीक्षा गए का देखा जानता उत्साह नहीं देखा अपने अपने नीर का कोशिश का भाव जो उसने का देखा सुकारण का देवा दे ही सकते अंधिका नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण नारायण श्री नारायण बोलो
Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan, Narayan Sri Narayan.
He tried to control himself and he tried not to look, but his mind did not permit him. Have you ever made up your mind to do something, but your mind doesn't permit you to do what you think you're capable of doing? Have you ever wanted to say something, but your mind doesn't permit you the strength to say or to express what you want to express? Have you ever wanted to tell somebody something, but your mind tells you, better don't say nothing, better just remain quiet? Have you ever experienced that? I don't know about you. My mind and my mouth, they don't cooperate well. Auntie Chan said to me on the first day of this new year, 2023, on the first day, New Year's Day, she said, I want to bless you with a Varadan for the year 2023 and onwards. May Bhagwan bless you that the connection will be well between your brain and your mouth. First thing for the new year, this is the blessing that she gave me. She said in the new year, may the connection between your brain and your mouth function just fine. And may Bhagwan bless you with buddhi, intelligence, to use the brain to think and polish the things that will come out of the mouth. Auntie Chan, it's kind of working. You need to renew the blessing. Kind of working so far. And so, his mind, he could not control his mind. And so while praying, all he's thinking about is this lady. Dave, you remember the first time you saw Sydney? Huh? Last night, I went idly in Papa and Mama's room. Minutes to 1. I went between both of them and under the sheet. And I put one foot on Mama and one foot on Papa. And one hand on Mama and one hand on Papa. And Mama said, well, Papa is just telling Naresh asked them how they met. And Papa told Mama, well, I told Pandit everything already. Pandit know the whole story. And Mama was shocked to know that I know the whole story, everything. Because Papa told. So I know. You know where they met each other? In a Bhagwat. That's where they met each other, in a Bhagwat. Sometimes you meet people in the temple, in the church, in the mosque, but you don't meet them by guess, you know. You meet them because you go there and Bhagwan makes the connection. God makes the connection. He does that. And you can't question God. Huh? God makes the connection. This Brahmana, he's praying, but his mind can't come off of the lady. He's only thinking of her. And so thinking of what will happen. He cannot control his mind. And because his mind is out of control, his emotions are also out of control. And so his emotion, he allows his mind to tamper with his emotion. He becomes lustful. Have you ever heard that word before? Lustful? What does lustful mean? Lustful means that your ability to choose has become clouded. You're unable to control yourself. And so lusting, something happens. Listen. Bolo Sri Seetahal, 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 Jai Siyavar Ram. Bolo
Seetahal, 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 Jai Siyavar Ram.
Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jai Siyavar Ram. Bolo
Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jai Siyavar Ram.
वेश देके ब्राह्मण देके पुत्र दे अनंता नारायण का देकर दूदा देकर सुमेरो पुत्र बोलो सीताराम 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 जय सियावर राम
सीताराम 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 जय सियावर राम
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय सियावर राम
राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय सियावर राम.
He left his home, he left his children, and so he went and he started to live with this being. His status from upar became nichar. From up, he went down. In life, sometimes you go to sleep very wealthy and you get up very poor. You go to sleep very healthy and you get up, you might get up dead. Is it possible to get up dead? Huh? It says, he left everything and now his status dropped totally. And as his status dropped totally, what will happen? To survive, now he had to thief. To survive and to maintain the lifestyle of his wife, his new wife, he had to do things that he never imagined that he will have to do. And now, from being given, now he is being abused, criticized, condemned, ridiculed. And so, something happens. Listen. Seetahal, Seetahal, Jai Siyavar Ram. Bolo.
Seetahal, 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 Jai Siyavar Ram.
Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jai Siyavar Ram.
Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Radhe Shyam, Jai Siyavar Ram.
His union with his new being permitted him to have ek putra. Ek means, putra means son. And so being holy, being noble, being a brahmana, being a person who is versed in religion and scripture, he knew that he had to name this child an appropriate name. An appropriate name. How do we name our children? My cousin had a little son recently. And they're so intoxicated and taken up with cricket and sport. He looked and he said, we're going to name the child Virat. I said, boy, something is wrong with your brain. I will name the child. You don't name the child. Let me name the child. And he said, but that's a great cricketer. I say, well, you're a foolish person. Because you live in Trinidad where people make a mockery out of everything. I said the whole life of the child, even in school, everybody going to call him Rat. All they remember is Rat. That's all they remember. And everybody will call the child Rat. I said, this is what you are going to put on the child. Have some level of comprehension, understanding. You are not in charge. I will put the name. I will check and find the name. And I will put the name. The next crazy one want to join her name and somebody else's name and make up the name. And then you know what will happen? Everything will go haywire. He wants to find the appropriate name, and listen to how important name is. Listen to how important. It says, he checked and he consulted the books and he gave the child the name Narayan. Narayan. Narayan is the name that is given to the child. We in the group, the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, do you know we have a Narayan? Huh? Do you know we have a member of the group whose name is Narayan? Everybody calls this man here Paki. Do you know what is his name? His father was a Pandit, you know. Not just a Pandit, a principal in a Hindu-led organization school. You know what's his name? Niranjan. Huh? Did you know that? His name is Niranjan. This man, you call him Pampi and Bossman and... Huh? You know what's his name? Krishan Dutt. That's his name, Krishan Dutt. Listen to the name. That lady, you call her Toma. You know what's her name? Her name is not Toma, you know. Her name is Tomawati. That's her name, Tomati. You look at the next one and you call she Teddy because you know Teddy bear now. Little Kuchi Kuchi. Huh? Her name is Jasodra. Listen to the name. The next one, you see her? You say Vashti, Vashti. Her name is not Vashti. You know what is her name? Jasmati. Listen to the name. The name has meaning. The name has power. You see her? And we call her Rukmin and all kind of thing. You know what's her name? Her name is Tara. You know what's Tara? Tara mean the stars. That's what she is, a star. Brilliant, radiant. They named the child Narayan. And naming his son Narayan, what will happen? He is now the babysitter. And his wife is the best dancer. She going to dance. And he home, my name Popo. Huh? He is the babysitter, my name Popo. They, if you have to stay home and mind Popo by yourself, what you'll do? Paki, if they leave you with the Popo home a day by yourself, what you do? Huh? What you'll do? Apti, you are alone home with the little baby. What you'll do? Huh? You stick on the mother picture on your face. So when the baby watch you, the baby seeing mommy face, huh? Robbie, you have the little Popo by yourself home. What you'll do? How you'll manage? You might really wash the child in the washing machine and hang him up on the line because you don't know what to do. You have no clue. Huh? It says Narayan. And so this Brahmana spent all his time in the company of the child, looking after the child and nurturing the child and calling the child all the time, Narayan, 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 Narayan. That's why you name the children good holy names. Veer, Veer, Ashani, Ashani. You're calling, when you're calling Anika. You're calling the name of Bhagwan, God Himself. So that indirectly you're performing job. You don't even know, unconsciously you're performing job. You're calling God's name. Huh? Shiva, Rudra, Uttam. You're calling God's name. All of these names. And so, the Brahmana quickly becomes old and feeble and unable to move. You give thought? We're getting old? Turn to the person next to you and tell them, hey, you're getting old. Tell them. Oh God. It's a good thing nobody tell me that. We all getting old. The minute you're born, they say you're 1 day, they say you're 1 year, you're 5 years. They never say you're 5 years young. They say you're 5 years, and we are getting older and older and older. Is that true? But getting older is not important. Having the right willpower and attitude is what is important. The proverbs say you get old and you get wise. Huh? Is that true? I say not all the time. But that's my opinion. That's my opinion. That belongs to me. Not all the time. Some people get old but they never grow up. And only when you grow up, then you become wise. Other than that, you remain. And so, he became old and he became crippled and bedridden. And lying on the bed, he is dependent on Narayan. The wife is dancing, she's working, and so he is dependent on Narayan. What will happen? He became old, he became dependent, he became crippled, he couldn't move, he couldn't help himself. And so while lying on the bed, anything he needed, he will call the name Narayan. Narayan, 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 Narayan. Please come. But the child is a child. And sometimes children become flustered and frustrated when you call them too much. True or not? Huh? Sometimes you're calling the children and they will never answer, they'll never come. Isn't it? I don't know about you, not where I came from. I was taught that when you're called, answer. Even if you can't come, acknowledge the call. And if you don't acknowledge the call, you will be disciplined. And those scream and say, I'm coming now. Oh, nothing disrespectful. Answer, yes, I am coming. Answer. Everybody in the whole village know my grandfather's voice. when I run away from home, because I did that plenty, to go by the neighbor, and he will stand up in the yard and at the top of his voice, he will scream my name. And wherever I am, I will answer, He so wanted to teach me the lesson of how you should answer when there is a call. I don't know where he catch up a Bible. And he opened the Bible and he said, look, read this. The Christ called the disciples and they answered. He said, when I call you, remember that. If you can't remember nothing else, remember that. So when I call you, answer. I say, okay, Papa. Poor man, he probably had good intentions, but I used to run from him because he was the discipliner. So I'm always under my grandmother's arm and up her sleeve and close to her because she's my protector. She's my shield. And when he instructs to do something I don't want to, I go to Ma, tell him now. Save me now. And she said, okay, I will tell him, you go. You hide. Don't let him see you. It says, he was calling Narayan. He was sick, he was thirsty, he was hungry, he was flustered. And calling Narayan, the sun appeared as though he was not hearing, and the sun will not come. And at that same time, the Yamduts, the servants of Yamraj, came. And he saw death in front of him and he became frightened. And seeing death in front of him and becoming frightened, he started to call, Narayana, Narayana, Om, Satya Narayana, 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 Om, Narayana, Narayana, Om, Satya Narayana, Narayana, Om, Satya Narayana, Narayana, Om, Jai Sadguru Deva. Sing with everybody.
Narayana, Narayana, Om, Satya Narayana, 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 Om, Narayana, Narayana, Om, Satya Narayana, Narayana, Om, Satya Narayana, Narayana, Om, Jai Sadguru Deva.
He started to call and scream, Narayan, Narayan, Narayan. He's seeing death coming. You ever see what happens when death comes? When death is coming, have you ever seen what happens? Ask me, I'll tell you. You're lying on that bed, tears coming out your eye. You want to talk, but the mouth won't cooperate with what you have to say. You're pointing and trying to say, I'm seeing. You're telling the people around you, I see the black man stand up by the door. I see my uncle, I see my mother, I sing your grandmother, I sing this one, I sing that one. You know what they sing? They sing the Yamduts. That's what they sing. And you say, yeah, don't worry now, it had nothing. You all remember Ramudit? Ramudit's mother called me frantically, I want to meet you. You need to come now, emergency. She lives Rock Road and I'm in San Fernando. I leave to go. I go and Mama have almost a case of shell tox. You all know shell tox? Shell tox was trending then, shell tox. And I say, Mama, why you have all these shell tox and this place smelling like this? She say, I see the ants walking on the wall and walking on my bed and I see the ants everywhere. She said, I call them and I telling them, look the ants, look the ants, look the ants, and nobody's seeing the ants. She said, but I know you to see everything. Come, put on your glasses, see if you see the ants. It biting me. And I say, Mama, I'm looking, I'm not seeing any ants. She said, you are not crazy. Big ants, look at walking all here. Watch the ants. And I said, Mama, it have no ants. She said, Pandit, I'm telling you, I'm seeing the ants. Bring the spray, bring the spray. She's spraying me too. She said all on my foot and everywhere and spraying the ants. And everybody's saying she. And 2 days after, you know what happened? Before I leave, I say, Mama, let's just pray a little. Let's just pray a little. Take a minute, let's pray. Gita, Ganga, Gatri, Sita, Satya. Pray with me. Mama, let's just pray. Pray. I never forget. 2 days after, standing and looking at her in this red Carrara in a box with a cover, because she stated, I want to be buried, not cremated. In my mind, I say, oh God, now worm go walk on she. We better put our shell tops inside the box too. Huh? In case you want to take a little spray down there. But you see, what they're seeing is what you will not see. Their understanding is what you will not be able to understand. And though they're trying to give the explanation, no comprehension will come to you. You are not able to analyze. You're not able to tell. It's only after you sit and you reflect and you think, you say, I had all the signs in front of me, but I had no clue that these were signs. I had no clue. And so seeing the Yamduts screaming, Narayan, 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 the Vishnu Doots came too. And as the servants of Lord Vishnu came and the servants of Yamaraj came, a battle started between them of where the soul should go. Should the soul go to Vishnu Lok, or should the soul go to Narak, to hell? Should the soul be taken to Put, to hell? That's why the Putra performs the rituals. The son performs the ritual. Because the Putra takes you out of Put, hell, the Guru Puran says. The Putra takes you out of Put, hell. That's why he performs the rituals. And so, the Vishnu Doots and the Yamduts fighting, what will happen? Yamaraj himself came and Lord Vishnu himself came. And now Lord Vishnu and Yama, they're talking to each other where the soul should go. And Yama says, well, he stole, he cheated, he robbed, he left his family, he abandoned his duty, and so he should go to hell. And Bhagwan Vishnu says, at the time of death, he was thinking of me. And Yamaraj says, Lord Vishnu, I think you're... Because he was not calling you, he was calling his son. He was not calling you, he was calling his son. And Lord Vishnu says, he reminds us, Ram se bada Ram ka naam, Ram se bada Ram ka naam, Ram se bada Ram ka naam. The name is greater than the form. The name is greater than the form. And that's why we have good holy names. So we chant the name all the time, because the name is greater than the form. Ram se bada Ram ka naam, Ram se bada Ram ka naam. Tell the person next to you. Tell them, the moral of the Katha this morning is, tell them, the moral of the Katha this morning is, that the name is very important. Tell them that the name is very... Tell them, simply because the name is greater than the form. Tell them. Simply because the name is greater than the form. So when the Baba gives the name, use the name that the Baba give you. When the Baba gives you the name, use that name. Because that name suits you, your personality. It suits your aura. It suits what you're going to be. It prepares you. It puts you in a good space. Because this syllable, this sound that the name is coming from, is the sound that came from the planets at the time of birth. That's why you check Rasi with date and time, so that you get this sound that will bring favor. In one family, one daughter named Pulande, Rajande, Sukande, Jukande, Ramde. Huh? In one family, one named Ramdat, Siudat, Deudat, Ganpat. Huh? All of that. Everybody named. And nobody made a fuss, you know. They took their name and they wore it with pride. Huh? Name your daughter Gaurina. Name your daughter Gauri. Name your daughter Lakshmi. Name your daughter Sharda. Huh? But instead, you know what you name your daughter? Maya. What is Maya? Huh? Maya. You like the name because of movie star. You name the child all sorts of things. And you know that kind of energy befalls Priya. Priya means what? Love. Huh? A person who is intoxicated by love. Look at the people who have those names. See how they behave. Intoxicated. They can't control. Because that's the name that you gave. Instead of the name that comes. Good name, you know. You want style name. And then you know what? You get style behavior because the name befits the aura. So, Radha always referred to Krishna as a Priya, her beloved. Huh? In the Bhagwat Katha, many times the name Priya is mentioned. And so, Lord Narayan, he says, the soul belongs to me because the name is greater than the form.